Welcome to the second in our three-part series on ebook platform Raz-Plus. If you haven't already watched the recording for the first session, I would encourage you to do that before watching this recording. The first session went over how teachers log in, how kids log in, how teachers set up the classroom, and it showed the student portals. There's a different portal for K2 and for 3-5. So you would want to go check that out first. This second session focuses on the instructional resources that are available to you as a teacher in Raz-Plus. So just to clarify, Raz-Plus is the teacher platform created by the company Learning A to Z. And the platform that the students will use is called Raz Kids. So we will mostly be focusing on Raz-Plus today, the teacher platform. So we're going to start by looking at how you find resources in Raz-Plus. Then we'll talk about how you use those resources with your students, and we'll end by talking about next steps. So what the agenda will be for session 3 and where you can find some resources online. So let's start by talking about finding and organizing resources as a teacher in Raz-Plus. The key menu is the resources menu, and it's in the top left corner of your screen once you sign in to your teacher account. Most of us think about Raz-Plus or Raz Kids as a resource for leveled books, and it definitely has lots of leveled books. So Raz-Plus has over 2,000 leveled books for kindergarten through 5th grade and has a wide variety of types of books. But it has a lot of other resources too that teachers may not know about. So it has close read passages. Those are obviously for the upper grades only. And it has other materials that go with those passages, like discussion questions and extension activities that you can do with your students. Raz-Plus actually has entire curriculums. It has what they call their literacy curriculum, which is for kindergarten through 5th grade. And that focuses on things like argumentation, close reading skills, comprehension. It also has a foundational skills for kindergarten through 2nd grade, and that focuses mostly on phonics and phonological awareness. Then they also have skills lessons that help you target specific skills with your students. So all of those are available to you under that resources menu. So you have 3 ways that you can find resources in Raz-Plus. You can browse, you can search by keyword, and then you can filter your results to get more specific about what you're looking for. They also have something called the filing cabinet that helps you to organize your resources and share them with other teachers at your school or in the district. So I'm going to escape out of the slide deck now, and we're going to go take a look in Raz-Plus. So here I am in my Raz-Plus teacher account, and here's the resources menu that I was talking about earlier. So you can see, first we have the curriculum options, and the literacy curriculum again is K through 5. The foundational skills curriculum is specifically for kindergarten through 2nd grade. And just to go take a look at what it might look like, we'll look at grade 2. So it's 32 weeks of lessons for each grade level, organized into units around content. And if you click on a unit, you can see the weekly breakdown. Click on a week, and you can see implementation guides, lesson plans, handouts, center activities, lots of materials. So again, level text is probably what we're most familiar with in Raz-Plus. And you can get a sense of the variety, the types of books that they have here in this menu. So they have the books organized by type, by content area, and then they have things like graphic novels, trade books. So let's just go take a quick look at what they have, for example, for science books. So here's where some of the filtering comes in, right? I could filter by topic because I'm in a topic browse. And you get little preview tiles, show you the cover, the book and the title and the level. And then if you hover your mouse over, you get a little bit more information. If you click on a tile, which I would encourage you to do, you can see that you get a lot more information. So you get a summary of the book, but then if we scroll down, we have lots of other resources that are associated with that specific leveled book. So they divide the resources up into two main categories: book resources and lesson resources. So book resources are different ways of accessing the book, printing, projecting. Lesson resources, pretty obvious. It's lesson plans, worksheets. Again, things like discussion cards, center activities. Now, you'll notice when you're looking at all the leveled books that Raz-Plus Learning A to Z has its own leveling system. And in the slide deck, I give you a link to their explanation of their leveled book system. And they have a correlation chart so that if you're more familiar with Fontes and Pinnell or another leveling system, you can see how that leveling system matches up with Learning A to Z's. So that's it for leveled books. Let's go take a look at some of the skills lessons. So foundational skills, again, are geared more to the younger students. And you can see they have some phonics specific resources. They have some alphabet specific resources. And then some high frequency common words. So let's just go take a look at an alphabet. An alphabet resource. So you can see these are materials that can be used with students. So a lot of their materials are in PDF format. So when you click on the link, it's going to ask you where you want to save it. I'm just going to save to my desktop. And I have my web browser set up so that I get a link that I can click on down there in the bottom left. So some of these are just worksheets. Some of these are full lesson plans. This is one that's basically just worksheets. But if we go back and we look at a different foundational skills choice, we do get some actual lesson plans. So here's an example of what one of the phonics lessons looks like. And again, it's in PDF format, so I'm going to need to download or save it. And then I can open it up to take a look. So in addition to those foundational skills, they do have what they call focused instructions lessons. So these are mostly for upper grades. So we'll look at an example of one of these. So they do have additional resources. You can see here we have a lesson animation that goes with this lesson in addition to the lesson plan. Writing prompt would be a handout that you would give to students. And then the last type of skills materials that they have available are a whole section of writing skills resources. So we'll go check out the poetry writing lessons. And again, we have lesson plans and worksheets. Notice that you often get other choices. In addition to the PDF, you can use the projectables in either a face-to-face or remote lesson, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. We have some extra tools that are available to us in the projectable resources, and we'll come back to those later. Oop, I think I closed out of my window. Let me go log in again. So this is a subscription service. You do have to be logged into your account to be able to access all of these resources. So we have curriculum, we have leveled texts and passages, and we have skills lessons. Raz-Plus also has very robust assessment resources. We are not going to talk about those today. Those will be a whole separate webinar. That will be our webinar or professional development session number 3. So we will come back to those. The last thing I'll say about the types of resources that are available to you is that these add-ons are only available with additional subscriptions that we don't have. So you're basically looking at curriculum, books and passages, and skills in terms of the resources that you have available with our Raz-Plus subscription. In addition to browsing for resources using the resources menu, we do have a search box here. And so we can do a keyword search. So let's say I'm working on a unit on plants. I can just type in plants and ask Raz-Plus to tell me all the resources it has on plants. And just like with the browsing, we do have the ability to filter to narrow our search. So when we're doing the search, the filter options are on the left side here. So I can filter by reading level. I can filter by resource type. I can hone in on a specific skill that I want to focus on with my students or strategy. And I can also filter by language. And I always start by filtering my resources by language because I just want resources that are in English. So now I can see a list of resources. It found 147 results on plants. Now, let's say that I am doing this unit with 4th grade, and so I know that I'm not going to want books that are at a lower reading level. So I might choose to focus on one of the higher reading levels. And now that's narrowed my results down to 17. And just like with the browse, I do get a little preview here. I get the book cover to the left, and on the right, I get a brief description. And you can see I get the level here and on the book cover or under the book cover. And most of the time you're going to want to, rather than going to the book, you're going to want to start by clicking to go to what's called the book landing page again, because that gives you much more information about the resource. It gives you, if it's a book, not only the title and the cover picture, but a summary. And again, then if I scroll down, I get all these other wonderful resources that are associated with this book. And again, divided by book resources and lesson resources. So that's the search and browse functions, along with the filtering option that's available through both. So that's how you find materials in Raz-Plus. Now, how do you organize them? You'll notice that on all the resources, both on the book landing page and back on my search or browse results, when I just hover, I get this blue Add To button. That allows you to add a resource to your own personal filing cabinet, your kind of library of resources. And when you choose Add To, you can add it to an existing folder that you've already created, or you can start a new folder. I'll put this in an existing folder. And it shows me up here what I've recently added to that folder. I could choose to assign it to my students right away. We'll come back to that one, or I can just say save and close. And again, that works from browsing too. If I were browsing, and I found a resource that I liked, I could hover over the tile and choose Add To, or I could click to go to the landing page, and I get that same blue Add To button. So whether you're searching or browsing, you can always add to your filing cabinet. Now, to get back to my filing cabinet, I go up to this pink menu bar that runs across the top of my screen. It's always there no matter where I am in Raz-Plus. And there's the link to get into my filing cabinet. You can see the folders that I've created. So this is my filing cabinet, my library. I could make a new folder from the filing cabinet. If I want to make changes to an existing folder, I click on that 3-bar menu. And you can see I can rename it, move it, delete it. We'll come back to share in just a minute. If I want to open up the folder, I just click on it and I can see what's inside. I also have a 3-bar menu up here. I do have the ability to collaborate with other teachers on my team, in my school, or in the district through the File Cabinet Share function. So let's say I'm working with other teachers on this grade 4 and 5 plant unit. If I go to my 3-bar menu, you'll see I have the option to share. And when I choose share, I can choose to share with the whole district, with my school, or with specific teachers. I'm working with 2 other teachers, so I'm going to choose share with teacher. It brings up a list, and then I can just check the boxes next to the names of the teachers that I'm working with. And choose share. If another teacher has shared files with you, you would see it on the left side here under shared files. Nobody shared any files with me yet, so I don't see anything there. If you have shared files with other people or folders with other people, you'll know that by seeing the little people icon next to the folder, both in the My Files list on the left and on the folder icon there. Next, we're going to look at how you would use these resources that you found with your students. So you basically have 3 choices. You can print the resources. Almost all of Raz-Plus's resources can be printed. They're available as PDFs. And you can use those print resources when you have students face-to-face in your classroom, or you could send them home in paper packets. Most of the resources are also available as projectables. In other words, you could put it up on the big screen, again, either with your students who are face-to-face or your students who are remote, or both. And then finally, you can digitally assign both books and other materials like quizzes and worksheets. So here I am in Raz-Plus, and let's go take a look at a resource. We'll start with a book. And we'll go back to one of these Brilliant Biomes books just because it's quick and easy. So again, if I go to the landing page, you can see if it's something that's printable, you'll see the little PDF icon. And they give you lots of different ways to print the leveled books. So you have choices, and a lot of you are already familiar with printing the leveled books from the old days of learning A to Z. So these are just different formats for printing a hard copy of the book. Notice we do also have the ability to open up a projectable version of the book. And what's different about the projectable version as opposed to a PDF, because you could just open the PDF on your computer screen and share that with students, is these annotation tools that are available to you on the left side. So I have my pointer tool, which is the default. That's what I'm in now, which works, right, just like a mouse click. But notice I have lots of other choices here too. I have a pen. I can change the color and use that pen to write on my screen. I have a highlighter. I have a text box that I can create. And these boxes can be resized. Notice I can use the X to make it go away. If I want to move it, I go back to my pointer and I can drag it around. The next option in the toolbar under the text box is stamps. So I could ask students to put a star by vocabulary words, for example, or words they don't know. This is my favorite tool for projecting. The frame allows you to show only part of the screen or hide parts of the screen. We'll start with show. When I choose show and click on my screen, notice I had to click on the text. That's why I was having trouble a minute ago. A box comes up, which I can resize. And then it will black out all of the screen except for what's in that box. I can then move that box as we're working with the text. And again, I can use the X to get rid of it. So hide is basically the opposite. Basically, when I make the box will hide everything else on the screen. I do have an eraser if I want to erase something that I've drawn with the pen or the highlight tool. And this tool allows you to reset all of your annotations for one page or for the entire book. So those annotation tools are pretty powerful. And that's available to you when you're in the projectables. I'm going to X out of this projectable up here in the top right corner to go back to the landing page. So we've looked at being able to share these resources with your students by printing these PDFs or by projecting on the screen, and the projectables have the little screen icon next to them. The third option in terms of pushing out materials to students is to digitally assign those materials. So any place that you see the little planet icon means that this is a resource that can be digitally assigned. And when I click on that button, that's when I get the option to select the activities I want my students to do. And again, I can just uncheck or check. And same for students. Now, if you've already watched session 1, you'll know that you can create groups within your class. So I have a group called Demo. And so I could assign it just to that group. I could assign it to all students, or I could assign it to a specific student. Once I've made my choices, I click on the Assign button. And then whatever the resource is, it will appear in the student's assignment section of their portal. I have now switched to the student view. So I am signed in as a student in my class, and I just want to show you quickly what it looks like from the student perspective in terms of a digital assignment. So if you have pushed out an assignment to students, they will have in their student portal this option called My Assignment. Now I'm in the K2 portal. We'll go take a look in a minute at the 3 through 5 portal. So I click on My Assignment. I click here, and you can see the books that have been assigned to this student. And when they click into the book, they have those 3 options because I've assigned all 3 options. But again, as a teacher, you can choose to only assign one or a couple of these options. So the student can listen to the book, read the book, and only after they've actually read the book could they take the quiz. So that's the student perspective from K2 for a digital assignment. Now I'm signed in as a student who's using the intermediate portal, which is for grades 3, 4, and 5. And to get to my digital assignments in this portal, I have to click on the reading menu up top and choose assignment. And after that, the interface looks the same as it did with the K through 2 portal. That's all I have today for instructional resources in Raz-Plus. So a quick look at next steps. We will be holding a 3rd session that focuses on all the assessment options that are available in Raz-Plus. Check your email for more information and a link to join. In the slide deck, there are links to some of the online professional development and support resources that Raz-Plus has available.